rather than being authoritarian with others, rather than being authoritarian with others, have authority over yourself. A good leader has authority over his or her emotions and state of mind. Hi, my name is Arjun, and welcome to Utopian Spirit. This channel is about all things spiritual. Our video today is on tarot. I am a tarot reader, among many other things. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the leaders in the tarot deck. More specifically, we're going to discuss the four kings, the four leaders, the four kings in the tarot deck, after which we will also talk about leader number 5. Let's get started. So the four kings in the tarot deck look like this. Each of the kings is from the 4 suits. So right here we have the King of Swords, and then the King of Wands, and the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. These are the 4 kings which are part of the court cards in the tarot deck. So we're going to get started with the King of Swords, okay? Now the King of Swords and each of the cards could represent a person or a situation. And in our time together today, I'm going to take time to describe the archetype, the energy, the essence of each of these cards. Okay, the King of Swords is typically a person or a situation, okay? So when I say these points, you can take it in the context of either or. This is someone who is laser focused on a goal, not swayed by emotion. This represents the energy of someone who is stoic, logical, strategic, practical, swift to act. This is someone who gets the job done and gets the job done right. This is the energy of efficiency and effectiveness. A King of Swords is a person that fixes the mess and fixes the mess right now, excels in emergencies, very, very good with emergencies and in emergencies, is active, goal-oriented, has intellectual clarity, and is a big picture thinker. This is the energy of the King of Swords. The King of Swords can also represent truth. Think about the sword cutting through the fogginess and creating clarity and therefore truth. That is the energy, the quintessence of the King of Swords. Every card in the tarot deck has the light side and the dark side, or we could call it the shadow side. And when this card comes out as reversed or inversed, then now we have the opposite of what we spoke about earlier, and a reversal, or the shadow side of the King of Swords, represents the energy of somebody who is bossy, insensitive, impatient, ruthless, narcissistic, rude, demanding, impetuous, inflexible, domineering, unsympathetic, egotistical, arrogant, manipulative. This could represent a harsh situation, a bully, unfairness, and abuse. That is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, described in one word, the positive avatar of the King of Swords, that word is the word decisive, decisive. And of the elements, the King of Swords represents the energy of air. Okay, that's all about the King of Swords. Moving right along, let's have a look at now the King of Wands. Before we go further, may I just say that the King of Swords and the King of Wands have similar energy, and they're different. They're similar, but they're not the same. And the next pair that comes up, which is the King of Cups and the Pentacles, have a similar energy as well, which is why I'm going to do it in this sequence. So we're done with the swords, and here we are with the King of Wands. The King of Wands represents the king, the leader who is charismatic, charming, cheerful, talkative, spontaneous, extroverted, passionate, creative, attractive, enthusiastic, and has boundless energy. Spontaneous, dynamic, social, gregarious, and a people magnet. All of this represents the energy of the King of Wands in an upright position. The shadow side of the King of Wands, the inversion, the inverted King of Wands, is somebody who is fickle, transitory, excessively talkative, forgetful, exaggerates, makes promises that they do not keep, disingenuous, moody, restless, undisciplined, somebody who is an attention seeker, a poor listener, naive, impatient, unable to focus, has disagreements. This could also represent the energy of jealousy, criticism, and gossip. So that's all about the King of Wands reversed. The one word that represents the positive avatar of the King of Wands is the word creative, creative. And among the elements, the King of Wands represents the energy of fire, fire. We're doing great so far. Let's now move into the King of Cups. The King of Cups, in its positive archetype, in its empowering, resourceful archetype, is emotionally intelligent, emotionally reliable, emotionally balanced, mature, stable, and emotionally available, empathetic, and an empath. And an empath who is not affected by negative energy, an empath who is able to shield themselves. The King of Cups also is the energy of equanimity and somebody who is even-keeled in their demeanor, a good guide with regard to matters of the heart, a coach, somebody who is sensitive and yet sensible. This is a wise teacher, compassionate, and somebody who can handle complex, who can maneuver through complex emotional situations with relative ease. The King of Cups represents the energy of intuition and insight. That's who this king is, insightful and intuitive, has integrity, and is emotionally generous, trustworthy, truthful, organized, systematic, thoughtful, philosophical, poetic, a great listener, and an emotional provider. All of this is the King of Cups. The shadow side, or the inversion of the King of Cups, is the energy of emotional hurt, emotional manipulation, brooding over the negatives, a low self-image and poor self-esteem, guilt, depression, and a victim mentality, unreasonably high standards, perfectionism, excessive perfectionism, or OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, socially insecure, judgmental, suspicious, conflicted, and complex in their values and beliefs, skeptical, cynical, excessively analytical, paradoxical, parochial, and full of emotional depravity, or should I say emotionally deprived. That is the energy of the King of Cups reversed. The one word that is a representation of the King of Cups is the word balanced, balanced or emotionally balanced. And the element, which is the element of cups, or the King of Cups, and the element which represents the cups is water, water. So flow and cups go together. So that was the King of Cups. And now we move on to the next king, and that next king is the King of Pentacles. King number 4 in the tarot deck, part of the court cards, is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is the energy of someone or even a situation that is stable, responsible, reliable, nurturing, a protector, a provider, homely, family, caring, a quiet performer who performs behind the scenes and does not seek accolades or awards. A good listener, a very good listener, very similar to the King of Cups, who is also a good listener. The King of Pentacles is a peacemaker, an excellent mediator and negotiator, somebody who has patience, somebody who is steady-headed, like the tortoise in the tortoise versus the rabbit, somebody who's just consistent and stays steady. This is somebody who is grounded and has high moral standards, hardworking, diligent, will provide you with the comforts, with material comforts that you need. A soft bed to sleep in, a warm bowl of soup. This is the energy of somebody who will do your laundry for you, clean your home, clean your dishes, and provide you with that kind of material convenience. The King of Pentacles is generous with their time. The King of Cups is generous with their emotions, and the King of Pentacles is generous with their time. This is someone who is loyal and a gentle patriarch, leads with gentleness, trustworthy, and also somebody who produces fruits of their labor, enjoys the fruits of their labor, and provides other people with the fruits of their labor. This is somebody who's pragmatic, not reckless, pragmatic. Someone who is not afraid to quietly roll up their sleeves, get to work and complete the task without making too much of noise. This right here is your King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles reversed, the shadow side of the King of Pentacles is mediocrity, feelings of inferiority and failure, not having enough, financial losses. Forgot to mention this is also financial abundance. When it's upright, it's financial abundance. Here it is financial inverted. The King of Pentacles is financial losses, feelings of scarcity, even emotions, thoughts, beliefs of scarcity vis-a-vis beliefs of abundance. Theft, loss, insecurity, carelessness, resistance to change. Quintessentially, the inversion of this card represents the resistance to change. Inadequacy, laziness, procrastination, reticence, a lack of enthusiasm, indecisiveness, no goals or no discipline with goals, no clarity or poor clarity, and no actions for betterment or improvement. This right here is the King of Pentacles. The word that represents the King of Pentacles is the word stability. Stability. And the element that corresponds to the pentacles is earth, is the energy of the earth. So there we go with the 4 kings in tarot. So when we look at the 4 kings, each of the 4 kings, as you will recollect, was defined by one word. What was the word for the King of Swords? The word for the King of Swords was decisive or decisiveness. The word for the King of Wands creativity. The word for the King of Cups, balance or emotionally balanced or emotional balance. And the word for the Pentacles is stability. And perhaps we want to add like stable provider, reliable, stable provider. So when we take all these four kings and all those four words and combine these four energies into one, we have, ta-da, Arcana number 4, which is the Emperor. And the Emperor, which is part of the Arcanas, which is Arcana number 4, is a representation, a conglomeration, a mixture, a culmination of all the four kings that we just spoke about in this video. The Emperor is the leader. He is strong, he's a builder, a visionary, has authority, is a father figure, even if it represents a woman or a female individual. It still has the energy or the archetype of masculine responsibility and power. Now, the Emperor can also represent matters of law and justice and sometimes judges, as does the King of Swords. Okay? But the Emperor is somebody who is not easily swayed or influenced. They stand their ground. The Emperor has power and influence, wisdom and resources, and also stimulates growth. All of this is the Emperor upright. And the Emperor reversed is all of what we spoke about earlier as the King's reversed. It is difficulty on following through with your plans. It represents immaturity. It represents the abuse of power. It represents the misuse of creative energy. The inverted Emperor is toxic masculinity. It also is a loss of authority, a depletion of authority and power. It could be a malevolent authority instead of a benevolent authority. So it's a malevolent authority and or a failing authority. So there you go. The four kings and the Emperor, and the four kings and the Emperor. This is the energy of leadership in the tarot deck. I trust this video has been of value to you, and I look forward to recording more on individual cards and groups of cards like this one. Wish you a super, super day. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share if this has been of value to you. Ta-ta.